Hi there, welcome to Story Time with Uncle Bill. And today's 22 of a year to get fit. We're going to do some shoulders today, folks. But before we do that, we're going to do a little warm up. Before you do any workout, especially with me, because if you do get hurt, I don't have anything that I can give you except good advice on if you don't need medical attentions on how maybe to fix that ailment. Consult your physician. Make sure you've ate 30 minutes to an hour beforehand. You're hydrated. You've done a warm up like this. Maybe stretched after the warm up. I got the fat belt and the back brace. Yeah, I got the back brace on. And if you didn't know, I'm a huge Cubs fan. Man, this was a great series too. What an emotional roller coaster ride that was, huh? Cleveland just had a good team for a while now. But before I get into the workout, I'm going to continuously do a little bit of warm-ups because we're going to do shoulders the day after this. But I'm going to tell a story because I was looking through my certificates that I had got in federal prison. And there's one that I almost think about every day, but I don't think about the certificate. I think about the incident that happened while in the process of getting it. And there was another certificate before that I apply to my life every single day, folks. And if you don't know what it is, cognitive behavior. It's crazy. It's like a kid's crayon certificate. And if you look, let me get it for you. Look. So as Reginald Baker, Mr. Baker, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, North Carolina. It's supposed to say FPC, Federal Prison Camp. Shout out to Mr. Baker. He was my counselor. I mean, he couldn't help me, and he's a good dude. I got a couple of certificates from him. But the certificates that I am talking about is, in cognitive behavior, if you don't know, is just analyzing yourself and your thinking and how it affects the consequences and outcomes of your life. So you could really blame yourself is what the bottom line is instead of placing blame on others. Like if you're an alcoholic, I went to the store for a candy bar and in the process while I was there picked up a beer. You probably just went there for the beer, but you used the candy bar as an excuse. It's just a quick example. But if you don't really know what that is, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I use this technique all the time. And look, I've found out that if you push me, this goes out the window. If you disrespect me, it goes out the window. And it'll say I'm at fault because I didn't do the right thing by walking away, or I'm at fault because I could have been a better man and turned the other cheek, or I'm at fault because it's against the law to do that, or whatever it is. So I refer right back to this and always place the blame on myself. And luckily that hasn't happened in a while, so kudos for everybody. But what I am talking about is the Insight program. And let me show. And it says Sherry Hodges says Joanne Lurd. And then so the first class is 3 8-hour days. And you got to sign up this long because the federal prison don't be letting you hang out like that. And it's the same one. Sherry Hodgson, Joanne Leard, and Kate Jennings. One was 24 hours and one was 26. And it was basically, to give you a quick rundown, and you see a lot of them now. And there might have been a lot of them then, but I had never heard of them. Mind you, when I went, when I took that, this was 2003. So it was many moons ago. It's almost 20 years ago now. So, but it was two ladies going into a federal prison camp with a bunch of big grown men. And the way that the program was announced was, hey, the Insight program's here, the Hug a Thug program. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. But didn't understand what it meant because it's a secret. I think it wasn't like easy to get on too because there was only so many spots and everything. I might have had to wait a while to get on it, but I knew I wanted to get on it, and I didn't. Nobody that ever was in the program really ever talked about a program, or I didn't ask questions, so I didn't know anything. But it was called the Hug a Thug program. So basically, what it was, on a real quick thing, you're 24 people. Let's just say 24 people in the group. Might only been 12. But you talk about your person, and then after so many people, there would be a group assignment. One of them was the trust fall. Another one was pick a person up that was laying down with 2 fingers, and then you do another person with a chair. And this is 20 years ago. I'm trying to wrap my brain right quick. But then something happened after that first day, because you get that sense of one, even if you don't even there was at this federal prison there was only like 250 inmates, so it wasn't nothing to the 7,000 at the last one I was at. But even then, you just doesn't mean you, and it's real close too. It's buildings side by side going across from each other, and doesn't mean you know everybody. Eventually, if you stay there long enough, you'll see them, and if you end up interacting with everybody, you may get to know everybody. So there's a lot of people I didn't know, and man, the women knew how to work magic. I mean, there was a whole lot of, because if you do anything about psychology, and most people got things as a child that they still carry with them. Their job, their mission was to get that out. They didn't exactly say that, but in the process of this group, that's what happened. Whatever was ailing you came out, and some of it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. It makes you, I mean, we're in prison, folks, so these ain't people that, was giving out badges. It doesn't mean they were bad dudes. Most of them was in there for drugs. They went through some. So the first class, it was pretty uneventful. I just got to know some of the guys that I had never met before, a little better, and had a real appreciation for this class. So turns out at the end of the class, after the 3 days, they had something that was called an angel walk. And they blindfold you, and they got Hallelujah playing, and you're kind of like guided, because when you're blindfolded, you can't see, but you'll feel somebody walking you, kind of, sort of, and something's happening where if you're being touched and you're like in a cloud or something. It's incredible. And at the end of it, there's a hug, and that's where the whole Hug a Thug comes in. And you don't know about it. I mean, you're walking. I don't know how much you can see, and then like they grab your arms, like your arms just start free floating while there's these touches on you, all over you, and then you're hugging somebody. Well, I knew when I hugged and got hugged that it was a dude. It wasn't none of the 3 girls that were there, 2 girls, whoever it was the first time. And it was just like a quick hug, and you go on out, and then they take the blindfold off, and you get to turn around and watch it. And then you see what it is, and it's a group of people, and they have tissues, and and it makes it feel like it's a floating experience, an angel walk. It's pretty cool. So after the completion of that, they would select a couple people and ask them if they would be interested in the next class that would be coming up in a couple of months, to be some kind of counselor, leader, helper, assisted. You assist in the seminar. So they asked me, because I'm always open in groups. I excel in groups, because I know once I get my bull out, your bull will come. Because there's an openness that comes once you no longer see a person as a friend, or see somebody as somebody you don't know, a stranger. And sometimes it's even easier to talk to a stranger too, and that's what I know, Because once you start to get to know somebody, that's when they start lying to you and shit, and it just goes downhill from that. And it's pretty sad, but it's the truth. So I signed up and couldn't wait. Because they said it was different the second time around, and I just couldn't wait. So the time came, and new class, and I knew everybody in there, and there was one dude in particular. He was bald headed. He had a Fu Manchu, and he was a big white dude, kind of looked like an Aryan Brotherhood dude. And I had been there probably about a year and a half, and I never had any interactions with him. But I was always wondering what was he racist? Was he a biker? You know, because he just had to look, and it's easy to put a stereotype, and you need to put a stereotype sometimes in jail or prison because you just got to be aware. You know what I mean? And so when it was his time to talk, he was like, "Yeah, my name is such and such," and kind of like bowed out, and he's like, "Yeah," and most people intimidate me, and they don't understand me, and I'm real rebellious, and you know that kind of vibe. But he was being honest, and he was being real, and you got to respect that. I respect, man. If you are what you are, you could say that and be that. I got to respect that. It might mean I have to watch my back around you, or it might mean I might not be able to even mess around with you. But I respect the fact that I call it, cared enough to say who you were and gave me a choice, a legitimate choice. You didn't lie to me. You say, "Hey, this is who I am." That takes a lot of guts, people. So I just gained a new respect for the dude. So we go. Pretty much, it was uneventful. It was a really good time. Learned a lot. There was some new things, and I can't even think of one thing. There was a lot of little workshops, a lot of paperwork. There was a lot of team building for 26 hours, and then the Angel Walk came, and then they came to me, and I had a ponytail, a long one, and it was a big dude. This was probably the strongest and biggest that I had ever been in my whole life. And I had worked hard for it too now. And so they asked me, nobody wanted to volunteer to be the hug dude. So they asked me, and they was like, "Look, would you be interested? There really isn't anybody. We've got to have somebody to do it." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever it takes." So I sat up. They had like this little thing, platform to stand on, and there was a couple people. The three ladies were right there beside me, and we were watching them walk up, and they would do one at a time, real slow, and then every 10 seconds there would be another person, so there would be plenty of time to hug, and then the next one you got to keep them going. Hug, everything's cool. Hug. They don't even know this is coming. Hug. So the bald headed dude's coming out, and I don't think about nothing. I'm just getting through it, and his arms get raised, and he came into me, and I mean right before he made contact, he just busted out crying, folks. And I mean, after about 10 seconds, it was that soul cry. It was that. And he hugged me. I mean, he hugged the shit out of me. And I got him, but I'm looking around. I mean, he's wherever he's at. He's hurting. I could feel it. Because he's up against me. I could, and he's holding me different. There is a reason for this hold. There's something happening, and I don't know what it is, but and I'm lost because I don't understand. But I'm there for him. You know what I mean? I'm there for him. I understand the emotion. I understand I'm empathizing with him hard, but I'm almost overwhelmed. It's because he's in a different. It's like he's lost his mom or he's lost his dad, whoever's closest to him. It's a hurt, man. The only time I've ever felt like that, like breakups, like my first breakup was the only time I really remembered this hurt, man. And so he ended up holding me for like 5 minutes. And I don't know if you know how long 5 minutes is, but it's an eternity. And the women were looking at me, and they had to stop the people from coming. And I mean, he's hysterical. He is hysterical. My whole shoulder was soaking wet, man. And after a time, it broke. And they walked him away. And I did the rest of the hugs. And but I'm shaking. I don't know. Don't know. So it ends, and I was beside myself, still on that little podium with that women, and I was like, wow, that was incredible. I wonder if he's going to be able to tell us what happened. And I was like, God, I would love to know, man, what is that? What happened? What really happened? So we go back in the group. Probably about 20 minutes later, they let us outside to smoke cigarettes and Black and Miles and stuff. And we said, we're sitting in a circle the whole time, and he was a white dude, bald head, no, white, and his complexion was white as hell, and but his face is red, it's puffy. You can tell he's been crying. And when you look at him, you probably think that dude ain't never cried his whole life. And the crying he did made up for it. So the women started talking and stuff, and it's like, okay, Dad, that's the program, and would anybody like to be oh no, they said, would you and you be interested in doing next year? And she asked the guy, and he said, yeah, I would, I really would. And I got something to share. He said when I was walking down that when I was walking and the music hit and I knew it was an angel walk, as I was walking, I started coming to a light. And I have to tell y'all a story. He said right before I came to prison, I was a mess. And I was doing a lot of bad, and my sister was trying to help me do good, and I was like on drugs or something, and I was just cussing her out and yelling, and I needed something and from the store, and she was like, damn it, I'll go do it, but you gotta stop, and blah blah blah. But she ended up dying. And the only thing he could remember is the last time that he had seen his sister. They had that horrible fight, and he hated himself for it because he loved his sister, and he knew he was wrong, and he didn't want to. He didn't want it to end like that. So when the light came, he saw his sister, and she told him that she was never mad at him, that she loved him very much, and she forgave him. And at the same moment that they held out his arm, she held out hers. And it just so happened to be me. I was her. To him anyway. I was fucking floored, man. I mean, that's by far the coolest damn thing I've ever heard in my life. For real. talking about it. That's amazing, man. So every day, cognitive behavior and insight. Take a good look at yourself. And every day work to be a better person. With your mind, with your body, with your heart, with your soul, and with your spirit. Because you just never know. Just never know. Man, I am grateful as hell. I mean, super grateful. I'm a lucky guy, man. I'm grateful every day. Because it could have happened to anybody, but it happened to me. And I got a million stories that are sad. I got a million. But this one really makes me happy. Probably a mess. I don't even have anything to clean myself up with, man. I got a workout to get in. It really was. What an experience, man. All right. I'm going to do a little warm up. Maybe ride my bike for a minute. We'll come back and do a workout. If you can't hit that like button for me, share it. Subscribe if you haven't.